my bad, fellas. We go do it again. My bad about that. I don't know why the volume was down, but we figured it out. Okay, so appreciate you guys for stopping by. Like I said, this is Life of Champ podcast episode number 30. Talking about a few different topics today. So to my left is going to be my little cousin Noe. For Noe, go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
It's good. My name is Noe, as you just heard. Um, I work out all the time, and I'm finna become the biggest entrepreneur ever.
The biggest ever. Okay, good luck. Good luck with that. All right, and then to my left as well, we have D. For the people that don't know you, go ahead and introduce yourself, D.
All right, what's good? I am Champ, and Noah's cousin D, or Damien, D the Diamond Manarchy Spiritual Warrior. You already know.
Whatever you want to call him, man.
Yep,
He got names.
exactly.
One person says Jalen says no, he's a goat. Then you obviously haven't met me. It's fine.
Good.
What's good, Noe and D? Hey, there you go, GDP. GDP said what's good. All right.
It's great.
So yeah, to go ahead and get into it. So first, how you guys been? How you guys been living as of recently? Like, let's just say the beginning of this year. How is this year so far for you guys?
This has probably been like one of the most up and down years, to be honest.
Okay, that's an interesting
Like-
way to describe this year.
Yeah, bro. It's
D
been,
the diamond, he said,
yes, indeed. Yes,
in the building. He said,
indeed. We back in the building. You know what I'm saying? But this year's been crazy, bro.
crazy. Okay,
A
that's
lot
an
of
interesting way
growth.
to
A lot
describe
of
it.
growth.
Yeah,
A
for
lot
sure.
of
Get closer to the mic.
Oh my bad. Yeah, no, a lot of
down
you know, flipping myself inside out, bro. Just learning, bro, every single day.
Yeah.
For
There you go. There you go.
like, I'm definitely learning a lot
Mm-hmm.
from this year.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Good. That's good. Come on now. You always have to learn. You always have to learn, man. That's
Yeah,
that's
true.
that's a must for sure. Every single year, you got to learn something new. That's for damn sure.
Exactly.
So for me, recently, let's say over this year, I would say made a lot of progress in a lot of things that I'm looking forward to doing, and I would say this year has also been an up and down year for me as well. Everything has had its highs, everything's had its lows. Yeah. Noe, can you move towards me a little bit?
Yeah.
Yes, preset.
All right, there we go.
All right, for sure.
All right, for sure.
Hey, appreciate that, Bree. But yeah, it's pretty much up and down year, I would say. But for the most part, it's been great. And then, get into the next topic. So, one thing I want to talk about today is the concept of you make time for what you want to make time for, right? So, I don't know if you guys ever encountered somebody in your life where they gave you an excuse that, whatever, they're busy, right? And let's just say you wanted to hang out with this person, or you wanted to plan something out with this person, right?
Mm.
Have you guys ever experienced that in your life?
Yeah. For
Okay.
sure.
So for the most part, I agree. I've had that happen to me as well. It's definitely interesting. I always believe on the concept of you make time for what you want to make time for. So even if you're busy, like this, for example, right? We have you guys have a busy life, but you guys still made it a priority to be here right now
Exactly.
in some type of way, right?
Exactly.
So even though you have shit going on, you made time for what you want to make time for at the end of the day. And I feel like a lot of people that they claim they're busy, they use it as an excuse or as a cop out for for certain things. I don't know whether it's working out, whether it's hanging out, whether it's whatever, trying to plan something. Have you guys experienced that as of recently?
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. Like for example, prime example, my manager. Okay.
Go ahead, he's about to air him out.
Goodness.
Air him out, D. Go ahead
It's
now.
over,
I hope
it's
he's-
over,
I hope
Maria,
he's
it's
watching.
over. All right, so check this out. Check this out. All right, so prime example. Okay, Maria's cool and all, but she's.
Damn, you about to give it a name too? Or fucking relax.
I'm dropping names right here.
Hey, don't tell. Hey, okay, go ahead.
Look, check this out. So, Maria, she cool.
Damn, he's about to air the. I said he's gonna air it out, and then he said, "All right, here's the name now."
So look,
All right,
everybody has the same 24 hours. Okay,
big facts.
everybody has the same 24 hours. But here's the thing: for most people, you spend about 8 hours sleeping. Okay, you have about 16 hours left in the day. Okay,
Roughly.
it's up to you on like as far as like deciding what you want to do with that with those 16 hours. Okay, like let's say you spend another 8 working. Okay, you spend another 8 working, so you have 8 hours left in the day.
That's not shit, by the way.
Exactly.
That's really not shit, by the way.
like
Give it 1,000.
like you can be doing all kinds of stuff like those 8 hours though, those are spread throughout the day. So you have maybe like 2 hours in the morning to get ready, whatever, and then go to work for 8 hours, boom, and then you have maybe like another like 6, whatever. Now, let's say for somebody like me or Champ or Noe, we go to the gym you know, maybe for me on average, I go to the gym for like maybe like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I don't know
Yeah.
about you guys.
Yeah, that's right.
You
That,
should be.
that,
You should be. Come on now.
that's yeah, that's pretty good estimate, I'd say.
Yeah. So boom, 4 hours left. Okay. So now you have to take into account maybe if you're trying to read another hour or two. If you want to take up another like some kind of skill set, that's another couple hours. So at the end of the day, like that's like nothing. You're that, but with that being said, though, you're actually maximizing your day. So
That's the only
with
way.
all that being said, though, Maria is not. She's not doing all that. She's not doing
Well, let's keep it 1,000, D. Most people aren't doing that.
exactly,
I would say 98% of people aren't doing that. Let's keep it
exactly.
1,000, right?
And it's a shame to see it. It's a shame to see it. But these are the same people that say they don't have enough time. But I'm like, okay,
Break it down.
realistically, you do. You're just not spending it wisely. Like you could be, you're probably watching Netflix or something. Like
It's
there-
like not willing to put
He
in the
said
time
shots
for
to
it.
Netflix.
Just-
He said shots to Netflix. That's crazy.
like and straight up, like that's just how it is, you know. And I get it, like binge watching your favorite shows, whatever. Okay, but there's, it's a waste of time. Because what are you doing when you're watching Netflix? You're just sitting there, you know. Like, are you really doing something? Like get up, you know, get your blood flowing, whatever you got to do, pick up a new skill set, whatever. But don't ever say you don't have time, bro. Because I guarantee you, if you look,
Stop the cap.
Fucking
Hey.
stop the motherfucking cap. If you fucking hitting him with that shit, stop the fucking cap.
if you look carefully at what you're doing, if you can literally write down what you're doing every single day, if you just let's say for like a week,
Okay.
you take note of what you're doing for a long period of time, you're gonna find that you have a lot of time. You're just not spending it wisely. That's the thing. So for that group of people, I I don't know what to say, bro. Like it's your own fault. It's your own fault.
He said it's your own
You did
fault.
it.
bro,
You did
bro,
it to
bro, bro.
yourself,
I'm
bro.
not.
Yeah, go ahead and give your input, Noe. Go ahead.
I'm not even gonna cap. Like that was like me a few months ago. Like I was like starting to, like procrastinate a lot of things, and then like I felt like I felt like my life was like very empty from that.
Mhm.
Like I was getting like nothing accomplished.
Yeah, no.
Like it was just a constant like kind of like a useless cycle.
Yeah. And it's a lot of people, you know.
Yeah.
And it's nothing
Very-
to be ashamed
look
of.
at
It's just like
it's
if
the
you want to break that cycle,
Exactly.
that's it's
As
just
long
up
as
to you.
want to fix it, bro. That's up to you.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
some people don't want to though. That's the only thing.
I like the thing that Dia had mentioned with writing it down. Like, okay, so when you write down what you're doing in that 8 hours, right? You can. It really gives you time to reflect on if you're doing exactly with what you want with the time, right? So let's just say, like the example he used, if you're binge watching Netflix for 4 of those hours, and you still want to do other things, right? Recognize that and go ahead and correct your damn self, because that's the only way that you're going to have the proof in front of you that you know you need to change. What do you guys think about that?
Exactly. You need to be that change, bro. You need to be that change because, you know, let's just say if somebody wants to pick up a new skill set, but then they say they don't have enough time. It's like no, like
No.
wrong. You're already wrong, bro. You're already wrong. You're just not doing what you should be doing in order to pick up that skill set.
Okay, so there's some
You don't got that
accountability.
drive for it.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's accountability. The motivation's there. The self discipline isn't there for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: the whole motivation and self-discipline thing; those are two very different things, and I feel like a lot of people get those mixed up. You know,
Conflated for sure.
like because people they get motivated, they watch a movie or something, and they're like, "Oh my god, like that's badass! Like I want to do that." But then when when they actually put themselves there, then it gets hard. They're like, "Okay, this is I don't like this. You know, this is uncomfortable." It like I feel like that's the thing with working out. You know, people they think they've earned something after a week or 2 weeks of eating healthy and going to the gym. But
Stop the cap.
Come on, fellas.
like dog, it's a longer process than that, bro. It's a long process. It's a journey, bro. It's a journey.
Respin facts.
Let me see if you really put your mind to it, make time. Yes, exactly, dude.
You just gotta want it. You gotta really want it. And
Exactly.
with this, I'll let Noe speak after this. But when it comes to really wanting it, you got to really evaluate your why. Why the fuck are you doing what you're trying to do, right? Everybody's trying to do something different with their life. Now, what is the reason? What is the drive behind it? What is motivating you to go ahead and get it done? Right? Everybody's answer is going to be different, and the stronger your why, the easier it is it's going to be able to be for you to get it done. That's what it comes down to. That's why I have my whys written down. I would recommend everybody write their own whys out, because at the very end of the day, you can at least reflect back on that and remind yourself, hey, like at the end of the day, I need to get this done because I have this to look forward to if I do get that done. And like I said, I don't know if you guys do that. Do you guys do that by chance?
I'm sorry. Do what exactly?
Write down your whys. Like why? Okay, so
No,
for
I
example,
haven't.
I have a list. I have a list of things where when I get up in the morning, I read this list because it reminds me. It starts me off on the right vibe. Right. I'm tapped in the morning. I'm tapped in early to why am I getting up this morning? Why is it important for me to get up and pursue my goals and do all the things that I know I need to do?
Mm.
So that's something that I established, and it definitely works out very good.
Mm-hmm.
Once I
Like,
once I
do
am.
you actually like write it down?
Yeah, of course you have to write it down. Majority of the things I say, I recommend this on a lot of podcasts. You need to write the things down. It's manifesting your thoughts into the physical world, right?
Hmm.
It's just an extension of thought. So that's why I recommend writing things down. And if you didn't notice, I have a lot of sticky notes and a lot of shit around my room
Mm.
where I write things down because, like I said, it sticks to your brain in a different way. I know the teacher said that, but for the most part, you didn't care because it was shit that you just didn't care about, right?
Yeah.
So when you actually write it down, it actually means something to you. Like I said, it can light that fire within inside you. It's something that you're going to need to reflect on for sure, especially if you're on those low moments. If you're not tapped in, D, if you're not tapped in, that's something you got to do, man. To tap back in, man.
Oh no, I'm always tapped in, bro.
Always tapped in.
Always tapped in.
All right, man, that's what I like to hear, man. That's what I like to hear. Noah, what do you think about that concept of just writing stuff down?
Um.
Yeah, go ahead, Noah.
What if you like honestly like could you just like type in your notes?
You could realistically, but it's still it doesn't give you the same effect.
Mm.
Of course, it's something you can rely back onto, but I feel like there's something about doing it instead of just like typing it real quick. Cause like it's gonna take you like 8 seconds to type it, but it's gonna take you like I don't know at least a minute or two to actually write it down and like set it in stone. That's the way I see it personally. It definitely could work out if you are referring back to it, but that's if you're referring back to it, right?
Yeah.
But you have to go out of your everything. You have to go out of your things and go and find it. See, here's the thing: if it's right there on my table, all I have to do is go to my table and grab it, and then it's right there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's different, but for sure, of course, I have a majority of my things that I do write are in my notes though, are in my notes on my phone. But
Yeah.
I do have the most important things that I know I need to write down, that I need to see in front of me and rely back into. That's what I recommend. But getting into writing things down in school, right? Now remembering that, I know you had a topic that you wanted to bring up specifically regarding the school system. So, what specifically did you want to talk about as far as maybe an issue that you see within the school system? Because obviously you are in
Yeah.
school right now.
Yeah. Like I see it like almost every day of my life. Like I see like people like getting taught the way that they're not supposed to. Like everyone learns different. Like no like I learned like through like actually like seeing things, but some people learn just through like writing notes and shit.
Yeah, for
You
sure,
know?
for sure.
Mm.
So like for you to like just put like 5,000 students in a just a building to go to every day and to do the same thing every day pretty much for 10 months straight like that it just becomes like imprisoning in your mind, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely seen that aspect going into school as well. Um, yeah, that's one of the things I think that if you're learning anything, there should be multiple ways to do it. There shouldn't just be one way and say, hey, like you had mentioned, you can't have the same expectation for somebody to do. Go ahead. Yeah, you're right. I agree. People do not have to have to learn the same way. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It's honestly hindering to the people that don't learn that way. You're just like, you literally feel like you're wasting your time if you're not learning the exact way.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I'd mentioned also within my last job. Part of the reason why I left it is because I wasn't thriving the best way I could because I know that people learn differently, right?
Yeah.
And that to me is that's such a flaw, and that's wasted potential, honestly, for maximizing learning. Period.
I feel like it's like kind of like a chore. Like it's not something you want to do, it's something that you have to do,
Yeah, for
which kind of
sure.
sucks.
Yeah, for sure. Well,
Well, I mean like that, but I mean like that kind of just pertains to anything in life, to
yeah.
be honest. But like we're kids though, so like
I'm saying. Yeah, no, school. Yeah, I don't know. School is it's like a box. Okay, like just think about it like a box. Okay, school is not meant for the people who think like inside the box. It's really not. It's really, really not. Like for me, it's never been for me because throughout high school, I always had my mind on much bigger things like after high school. That's why, like me, like I always struggled because I was like, okay, like I'm focusing on the future after, but like, okay, like let me sit down and actually do this. And then when I would actually try and sit down, it was like, oh my God, like I'm not using this. Like, what am I doing trying to learn this? I'm not going to use this in a couple of years. Like, what is this,
Like a waste of time.
Exactly. So,
It's not like a waste of time. It is a damn waste of damn time.
it-
Majority of the shit that you do in school is a waste of damn time, in my opinion.
exactly.
Oh, that's always been my opinion, for damn sure.
Exactly. So, it's always been dumb, but it is what it is though. But, for the like-minded people, they still, make their way through it, and that's what it's really about. I hope they do change it up for, for those that group of people, because that group of people really needs it, and we would be thriving a lot more. And I feel like these kids would make it a lot further if they had that, like those kinds of if they had like the information that they really need, then they would make it like a lot sooner, and they would be a lot more successful a lot sooner. That's really what it is.
Yeah, for sure. Then another thing to add on to that is this right here. One of the things that I've observed through my years in life regarding school is the simple fact that um, yeah, not only do people learn differently, it's also something that's outdated. Majority of the shit is outdated in general, right? You look
sure.
at the history books. Me growing up, right? I didn't go to that bad of a school for sure. Like, there's plenty of other high schools that are worse, but the material that we were learning from was like from like 2006, like textbooks that were like old as shit. So you're like,
Yeah, it's not relevant.
it's not relevant. There's a lot of things that have been proven wrong, and also on top of that, there's also a lot of things that aren't accurate as well.
Exactly.
There's a lot of things that aren't put in there, right?
Outdated information.
Well, not even outdated information. There's information they would never put in a textbook as well.
Mm-hmm.
That you also need to learn about, especially about history.
Exactly.
There's a lot of things in history that it's not the most pleasant thing to hear, but they're not talking about it still. So I think that's also hindering when it comes to learning outside of high school. There's a lot of things that I learned. I'm like, why didn't they mention that shit? That's like ridiculous. It's ridiculous not to mention that, especially if that's a big part of it as well. So what do you think about that? I don't know if you guys specifically learned anything about that outside of high school, or like outside of the classroom for sure.
I see. I don't know. I mean,
I think
what do you think?
I think like the government like kind of just like picks and choose like what they teach us, and
Yeah.
it kind of like tries to like brainwash us.
Well, it's definitely a type of conditioning. Even if you don't look at it as conditioning, it's still a type of conditioning, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, there's certain things in history that are not talked about.
Exactly.
But
Like for example, I think I was talking to you about this like 2 nights ago, about the Aztecs and like the Olmecs and the Mayans. Like that's what we really need to be learning. That's the real shit right there. Like because I'm like, okay, like yeah, George Washington, like everything that happened with George Washington, okay, like yeah, like it happened, whatever. But they're not gonna put everything about George Washington. Like they're not gonna put everything about these people. Like for example, like yeah, like we know about Nikola Tesla, but like we don't know like the
no,
full story.
no. Here's the thing: they don't teach Nikola Tesla. You learn that outside of high school, and that's one of the things that I was referring to. Was there's certain things like that in history where this man potentially could have been one of the smartest men ever,
Mm-hmm.
and we're not talking about the concepts because it was maybe controversial in his time.
Exactly.
And like that's bullshit not to learn about those certain things, right?
Exactly.
Um, yeah, I don't agree with that. And another thing with school is it's when I was in school, because I didn't love what I was doing. It killed my love for learning, and that as a human being is one of the most fundamental things that you can learn. That you need to learn. You need to learn to love to learn. If that makes any damn sense, right?
100%.
Yeah.
But if there's no real incentive, if there's nothing that's really of your interest, then you're done. You're done.
Exactly.
Was good, Eric. But yeah, I just think it's honestly ridiculous. I don't know if you guys, I don't know if you felt that personally. Like, are you more interested in learning things outside of the classroom, but you wouldn't exactly credit your love for learning because of the classroom? Would you agree with that?
I haven't experienced that yet. To be
Okay, so
honest.
you just don't like
'Cause,
learning, then it's fine.
Yeah,
No, like
I'm messing around.
Right? But no, like yeah, no, like my thing is like I love learning, but I think the one thing is, and I've thought about this before, and I've had this conversation with other people, is like, if school was like tailored to every single student and what they're good at, if they can learn more about what they're good at and like what their strengths and weaknesses are, like for real, it would help them like a lot in real life, like a lot. There are some essential skills that we need to have and stuff like that, but you know,
He's spitting facts. He's spitting facts.
exactly. But like if you can really tap into like to your creativity, like, and one of the guys that I talked to at the gym that I go to, his name is Kai, really smart guy. He always says that imagination is required because it's what brings new ideas to life, you know. And you never know if one of those ideas could actually really be like major, you know. Like that's the real stuff right there. So it's tough because school it doesn't do that. Everybody's taught the same exact material, and
for like generations too.
exactly, like it's just useless. It's useless information because like why do I need to learn calculus? Why do I need to learn algebra? You know?
Well, here's the thing. Like you had mentioned, it should be more specified, right? And another thing is this. Another thing that I didn't like about high school, and I don't know if you experienced this, right? But there are certain things that like you don't need. Like I remember coloring some of the maps in history. Like,
Yeah,
are you
that
fucking serious? Like, are you fucking serious? We're about to be we're about to be adults. Some of us are adults, and we're fucking coloring right now.
Yeah,
Like, are you fucking
like we're in
serious?
kindergarten.
Exactly. It's like we're in damn kindergarten. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing, man?
literally.
Yeah,
It was no. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I had a great time doing it because I just didn't. It's not fucking work. It's fucking coloring. But
calling for extra credit.
yeah,
Sometimes,
exactly.
sure.
It's fucking like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But to each their own. But that's not the fucking way to teach the foundation. The kids are the foundation of the United States at the end of the day, right? That is the future,
Mm-hmm.
right? You need to treat it as such, and it's not prioritized. It's never been prioritized. And like I don't know if you guys know this, but the United States, when compared to other countries, is severely lacking on the education system, and that bleeds into like I said, the future.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like one thing I just remembered, like I think, like, don't get me wrong, like even though like high school, like just honestly just also
Dragging high school, by the way,
yeah, but like
dragging the shit out of
that's
it.
what I'm saying, like high school, oh my god, dude. But it's like there were like certain projects that I really did enjoy. It was only because like the teachers actually allowed us to look and like research what we really wanted to look into. For example, like I think one of my most favorite projects was something called a passion project, and that was I forget
The
how
what
it goes,
project?
dude. A
Passion
passion project.
Oh,
It was one of my most favorite projects because I was actually able to research artists that I was like listening to, like at that point in time. Like for example, like Travis Scott. I was able to like research his whole like organization.
Tough,
I know, dude. Oh my gosh.
tough.
Like Kid Cudi, it's crazy, dude. It's crazy, But at that point in time, like it was like that was the shit. Like I was like, oh my gosh, like bet, let me actually spend a couple hours. Like I spent hours that night researching. Like I was outside. It was cold as hell. Oh my gosh, dude. I was out and like outside like in the backyard until like 4 in the morning, just like typing stuff. It was crazy. It was a good night though. It was a really good night. Um,
Okay.
it was cold though. It was real cold, but it was a good night. I just needed to be outside, and it was probably like one of the most enjoyable projects. But I feel like in school, like we definitely need more of that right there. More like way more of that.
I think yeah, I definitely think that kids would try harder if it was a little bit more specialized, a little bit more, I would say open. And that's kind of what that was. I never did anything like that in high school. It was less, hey, do this, do this by this certain day. Not, hey, I would like to do this, and you can pick exactly what you would like to do, but I want to see the effort. If they said something like that, I'd be way more incentivized to actually want to do the other work because I know that what I would be thinking mattered, and
Exactly.
yeah.
the input that I wanted to give in would actually matter. The effort that would pay off would matter, and it just, quite frankly, for me, that shit never mattered realistically.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
I would say there was like maybe one or two classes where I fully expressed like what the fuck I wanted to express,
Mm.
which I would say is financial algebra, which is basically like a personal finance class that I had, and it was because I was already learning that shit outside of high school, so on my own.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's because it was just made that way. That was just naturally one of my interests. But like, there's plenty of people that don't have any interest in anything that they're doing at all
Exactly.
for 12 years.
And it's sad to see, bro, because then you see them like you might bump into like them like like after high school like years later, and you're like, well, what have you been doing? Like it's just crazy to see it like that, and like it's crazy to see, like, for example, I have a friend, and he I guess like after high school it just went downhill. I'm like damn, like it's crazy to see, like damn, like life hit you like hard,
Like a ton of bricks.
dog. But hey, bro, I just hope he gets through it, bro. I hope he gets through it,
We'll see what happens.
figures it out,
Find out next time on the next podcast.
right? But yeah, no, and so that's really about it, though. And let's see what else we got, champ. What else we got?
All right, hold on. Let me get to it real quick. Yeah, let's get into this right now. Actually, yeah, let's get into this right now. All right. So if you've seen, okay, first of all, I just want to shout out that I have a TikTok. It's basically just Life of a Champ podcast. If you do want to go ahead and tune into that, been talking about a lot of controversial stuff as of recently. Majority of the clips are coming from being in denial. The podcast that I had a few weeks ago, and one of the things that I wanted to mention, which I mentioned in that podcast very briefly, was the concept of roles within the male and female dynamic, or the masculine and feminine dynamic, right?
Mm.
Well, let's just we're going to say it like they're right there, the feminine and masculine dynamic. So we're not talking strictly men and women. We could be talking about a man and a man, a woman and a woman, or whatever, right? Anything in between, right? The masculine and feminine energy, right? There is naturally roles that are associated with both of those, right? So, or at least in my opinion, right? Do you believe that they exist? Do you agree to them? What is your opinion on them, period? Because I know a lot of people in society are moving away from this concept. But if you guys agree or if you guys disagree, let me know.
Wanna go first now?
Actually, do you go first?
All right, bet. So my thing on these roles is like they're definitely like required, and it's ridiculous to hear about the fact that these women, like, they want to break down these barriers and stuff like that, and, like, because like apparently like it's empowering and stuff like that, and I get it, but at the same time, like, be practical, and that's my thing.
Interesting.
because-
Be practical. People would flame your ass for that opinion.
I know, dude,
But it's
but
okay. Go ahead.
it needs to be said. It needs to be said at the end of the day, because if I don't say it, no one is gonna say it,
Facts.
and
I feel that same way.
that's really what it comes down to, So there needs to be these kinds of voices out there that do say it, because the longer it goes without being said, the further it gets, and then the next thing you know, these women are breaking down these barriers like way more than they should be, and I'm like,
That's controversial right there, my dog.
it's a snowball effect, So, there just needs to be more of this. But I think like, and I was talking to you about this earlier. Like, there are roles, okay, and there's some that just go without saying. So, for example, let's say there's a man and and his girlfriend or whatever, right? They have a kid, maybe. Who cares, right? So, anyways, let's say while they're sleeping, let's say somebody breaks in the house. Okay, who's supposed to defend the house?
The woman. No, fuck no.
Alright.
Fuck no.
Nah.
Exactly.
It's always gonna be the man. Okay, it's always going to be the man.
It's not
And that just
sexist.
goes
It's just
without
facts, to be honest.
That just goes without saying, and we already know why.
Here's the thing. It goes without even saying. You understand what the hell we're talking about without even saying it, right? And that belief right there, that assumption, sexist. Fellas, hey, that is what it is, isn't it?
That's what it is, bro.
You don't even have to say it.
Exactly.
The person that watching this is going to think it without us even having to say it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And honestly,
That's how you know it's prevalent.
exactly. And honestly, it's okay. But like, here's the thing though. It's like with let's say like the woman like wakes up first from this person breaking in. They're gonna wake up the man. They're gonna wake up the man immediately. As
They're
fast as
not about to go, oh yeah, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go ahead
Yeah,
and take care of this shit.
They're gonna wake up the man immediately.
Not gonna pull out the strap.
Immediately.
They ain't gonna do it. They ain't even gonna do that.
Yeah.
That'd be
no,
brave as hell. You got
That-
some balls for sure.
For sure.
Literally.
For sure. But it's not happening. That's the thing. It's not happening.
No, for sure. No.
So it's just like, I think people need to think about that a lot more, like, and, same thing goes for like the sports and everything. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, because I've had this conversation with one of my friends as well. We would talk about all kinds of stuff, and she would just say like, what was it like? Oh, like women can do that too, yada yada yada. But I'm like, okay, like women can do it,
But
but
not
they're
on
not
a
gonna
man's
be, they're
level.
not gonna do it as good as men. Okay, like that simple. It's
But here's the thing. Let me make this very clear. There's plenty of things that women do that men could not do as good.
exactly,
That also needs to be taken into account. So it's not like he's just completely one-sided.
exactly,
Where we have our strengths and we have our weaknesses, right? And we also need to fill in for the strengths and the weaknesses of our partner. That's what it comes down to.
exactly.
And Noe, what is your opinion on all this? Because obviously it's interesting to see your perspective because you are a younger individual, right? You are growing up within the society of today. What do you think works? And that's another thing I wanted to mention is, in my opinion, the reason why I believe in roles is because it works.
Mhm.
Ultimately speaking, it's not like I just believe this and it's just an old time thing that doesn't work. The shit works. If you look at successful relationships altogether, right? For the most part, there's going to be roles. There's going to be that feminine and masculine energy. There's going to be making up for weaknesses and adding to the strengths. So, what do you think about that, Noe?
Um, I think I see like more weak men.
Weak men.
Yeah. Like, like,
Okay.
like. I feel like they're just like not confident in what they do. And as a man, I feel like you should be confident in anything you do.
Okay. But do you think okay? Well, so
Okay.
what I'm saying, okay, how does
But
that apply
I
to
feel
men's
like
roles?
um, I think that applies because the woman is the dominant one in the relationship.
Okay, so that's it. That's interesting. So you're seeing more women almost being overbearing to the point where they're taking over the roles of the man. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Wow, I did not expect that. Um,
That's a truly weak man right there for like
yeah, let's
letting
give it a
that
thousand.
happen.
Yeah, if that's one thing I wanted to mention as well is what I kind of got from that. Just that perspective alone is men are not playing their role in today's society, and they're having the woman make up for some of those things, right? And if it works for you, it works for you, right?
Yeah.
But that shit's not gonna work for me. I'll tell you that for damn sure, right?
Mhm.
Whatever works for you. But if you look at majority of what worked for people in general, there's going to be roles. There's not going to be this flip flop of energy. I'm not saying it can't work. I'm saying for the most part, it doesn't turn out that way. It doesn't turn out a way that's different, right? If you're speaking for the majority is going to work within that way. Would you agree or disagree with that, D?
Mhm. For sure. For
Sure.
sure. 100%. 100%. And you know what? I just want to mention something. And like I ain't gonna cap. I ain't gonna cap.
Okay.
This is like you might get shut down.
What?
What the?
Yeah, so look, so
Nah, let's hear this right quick.
all right, so look, so this is, I feel like this is something that not a lot of people talk about. I want to talk about the, honestly, I might have talked to you about this. I'm not sure,
Okay.
but the
I'm ready to hear this.
attack on masculinity.
The attack on masculinity. Okay, let's get into it.
So look, I feel like the reason one of the reasons maybe at least that there are these weak men out here is because there is this attack on masculinity. Okay, now if you look, there's a lot more males out there that will like willingly joke about some homosexual activity, and it's honestly it's like it's emasculating, and it's like wow, like if you look at it like for example like Aiden Ross, okay,
He's built off of sus activity,
exactly,
but he's straight. Maybe.
you know what I'm saying? So it's crazy, and
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. We have no problem. We have no problem with that over here. We're saying
Exactly.
we're saying for the straight males that are trying to be masculine.
exactly.
That's what we're saying.
Exactly. It's these type of people that are kind of affecting that right there. Hold on, my bad. Is affecting these
Hit me in the face.
especially for like the younger generation, bro. Especially for the younger generation because that's like this is like a these type of people. These are the type of people like that. Like their content that they're consuming is it's big, and it's like it's a part of like their daily lives type shit. So it's like it's crazy to think about it like that. And you have for example, I think this was maybe like last year. You have like Kid Cudi wearing a dress, I think supposedly trying to pay tribute to Kurt Cobain, I believe. And
I don't know if that made it
that
any better. No, it made it worse. Fantastic.
exactly. But like it's crazy to think about it like that, you know. There's it like
My bad, Noe.
everything is completely switched now. Everything is completely reversed. Everything's completely switched. And it's actually quite embarrassing. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like dude." And this is like these are like the type of like individuals that are essentially like selling their souls to these big record labels. You know, they don't know what they're getting themselves into, but
Hold on, man. That's fine.
these you know, these people they'll sign this contract, you know, for a certain amount of money, not knowing what they're getting themselves into, and so it leads to them posting whatever like the label wants them to post, doing whatever the label wants them to do, wearing whatever like the label wants them to do. So, with that being said, it's a really it's a it's a it's a very effective way to attack masculinity, and honestly it's actually ridiculous the way it happens, but you know, it happens all the time. You see it every day now, you know, and it's crazy. And like, you know, you have somebody like, let's say, like for example, what's her name, like Lavuzi, who he'll say something about gay people and he'll get flamed. He will get canceled. Here's the thing: it's surprising because he hasn't gotten canceled yet, but it's whatever. But
Oh, that's good, Indy.
it's good in.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyways, so you know, you have these rappers saying all kinds of stuff and almost getting canceled for it. There are just some people that just don't get canceled though. For example, like the baby, like he's not gonna get canceled. Okay, he just doesn't.
Shout out to Dave Chappelle. He ain't getting canceled either.
Exactly.
Nope. Nope.
Exactly.
Joe
Can't
Rogan
cancel a
ain't
goat,
getting
bro. You
canceled.
can't cancel a goat, bro.
You're not canceling these people.
Yeah.
Okay? Like these people are here to stay. So it's ridiculous to see. But I feel like going back to everything else though, like that's one of the main reasons I feel there are these weak men, is because that masculine factor, we're getting a lot of heat for it when we really shouldn't be, and that right there is ridiculous.
Okay. What I just want to answer the comments real quick. What are male roles? What are female roles? And who makes the rules? Who makes the rules of the roles? My bad. So I'll give you my opinion. Okay. So male roles. Um, anything that requires like an excessive amount of strength or effort physically should be a male role, regardless of what this is. So if we're talking about changing a tire, if we're talking about maybe going outside and cutting the grass, if we're talking about defending the household, if we're talking about protecting one another, for the most part, that goes without saying. That's probably going to be a male role, right? And that's not even particularly who makes the rules. It's kind of a given, I would say. The female roles, um, in society now today, that these roles are a lot more interchangeable, right? It's a lot of what women want to do. But in my opinion, what I'm going to want is things that are going to complement my life. So what these are things I'll speak for myself, right? What's going to complement my life is somebody who's going to be able to take care of my kids, right? I'm going to be getting the bread out there, so I need someone who's going to be that maternal, super maternal role that's going to care for the children. Now, whether if it's keeping them fed, now whether it's taking care of them and taking them to school, regardless of what it is, she's going to be dealing with the kids majority of the time. Not to say that I'm not going to be a great father, not to say that I'm not going to contribute, but there's going to be a lot of things that are going to come from that female role. Like I said, it's it's more of going to be a maternal role than it is going to be like, oh yeah, I'm about to go get the bread for the family. Like in an ideal situation, my woman's going to be, like I said, just caring for the kids, because that is 1,000% needed just as much as my role is needed. And I feel like nowadays in society, you have women who look down upon that role when that role is one of the most beautiful things in life, right? Some of the best women ever were those who are making the sacrifices that they needed to make in order for their children, right? Who are caring for their children, who was a super influential factor in being a mother because she was close to her kids like that, right? That is 1,000% needed, and like I said, in society, not only is there attack on masculinity, there's attack on femininity, which is another thing we should talk about because, like I said, it's not cool to be feminine nowadays, which is ridiculous, but that's what most men want. It's not cool to be feminine though. You got women that are forgetting how to be women, realistically, right? You got um, them that, like I said, it's just what they're focused on. They're not focused on the maternal aspect of it. Like I said, and majority of men are looking for an individual that's going to play that role in their life. So I feel like it's a conflict of interest. But Noe, what do you think about that?
Could you repeat the question?
Noe, what did you think about that?
um,
Exactly. You got to be able to pay attention, big dog. Come on now. All right, D. What do you think about that?
While you were talking, it's crazy because I was thinking about like how the attack on femininity.
Yeah.
It's if you look at it, and I feel like the attack on masculinity, it's both by the same gender. They're both by the same gender. The attack on masculinity by men. You
So
know,
are you saying like they're both self sabot? Well, yeah, realistically, you're actually right. They're both self sabotaging their
'Cause
own gender.
exactly because if
That's
you look at it,
crazy as hell.
if you look at it, the attack on femininity. Oh my gosh, like it's women talking down on like being that being like that feminine figure. Like they want to be like they want to be like us. Some women don't want to be like us, and like and
Yeah,
honestly
for
like
sure. That's you see within the culture for damn sure.
hey, what do you guys think about like guys who are kind of like the person who like stays home and takes care of the kids and then
Stay-at-home
like
dads?
and yeah, like stay at home dads.
Stay at home dads, in my
like the
opinion.
moms are like the breadwinners.
Okay, like I said, can it work? For sure.
Yeah.
Majority of women are attracted to men that go out and get it, though. And if you're not going out and get it, of course, there's exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, that's usually going to be a masculine role, right? And like I said, it can work. We're talking about the masculine and feminine energy. It can work, but that's associated with the masculine energy. That's not associated with the feminine energy. And like I said, majority of women are attracted to that masculine energy. So
Mm.
it's a conflict of interest. Can it work? Hell yeah. But personally, for me, you're not going to get the same respect as you would if you were hustling and getting it every single day if you were just a stay-at-home dad. Like I said, not to say that role isn't needed. That's cool for you and your family, but like I said, when it comes to if we're trying to have a conversation and anything career-based comes up, like what the fuck are you actually talking about? What are we talking about at that point?
Can I have that?
I'm not gonna. Okay, what I will say is that masculine role in itself is more difficult. Let's keep it 1,000, right?
Way more
Maternity comes natural to a woman.
Yeah.
So yeah, caring for your children is an instinct. Go, of course. Men's instinct is to go out and get it, but at the end of the day, there's an attack on masculinity, so it's a little bit harder than it ever has been. So there's that.
Exactly. It's actually ridiculous. Like there's got to be certain exceptions that are being made, bro. I'm not gonna say what they are.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Okay. All right. Noe, what do you think about this?
But yeah.
This is kind of going off topic, but like,
Okay. Okay.
um, I don't think like trans people should be in women's sports.
Okay. Yeah. That's something that I mentioned in a TikTok. Okay. So you don't think trans women should be in sports in a women's sport at least?
Yeah.
Okay. My I would say that is a controversial opinion, and it's still not talked about enough. That's one of the reasons why I talked about it on the podcast
Nah,
before.
it's messed up.
It's
like-
unfair,
Like
Very
bro, like you took the easy way out.
essentially. But here's the thing, you know what? If you're, I know I support. If you're wanting to if you're wanting to transition, I support you, right? We have my 100% support. Do whatever's going to make you the happiest, right? But when it comes to you competing in women's sports, at the end of the day, right? Women should feel some type of way. Like biological women should feel some type of way about this. I'm surprised they're not speaking out on it. Why do they not care? If LeBron James said, "Hey, I want to be a woman," right? This is the example I always use. If LeBron said, "I'm a woman now. Let me go play in the WNBA." Do you think women should have an outrage?
For sure.
LeBron James would average 300 points on an off night with his left hand.
Over.
Over exactly my
Right.
point. Who's stopping that?
Exactly.
Not a woman.
Nah.
And that's
Nah.
okay. That's okay. But let's keep it 1,000, right? Yeah, that's just it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
Exactly. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Cause like if you think about it, like okay, like if he's already putting up some kind of challenge for men,
What do you mean some kind of challenge? He's one of the best players ever.
literally,
Bro, he's like
dog,
He's GOAT.
second best player.
dog,
I'm saying,
exactly. You see what I'm saying? So
Michael Jordan's still better.
of course.
it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I don't know. Like that's literally cheating. That's literally
It's-
cheating.
It's literally cheating. Exactly, exactly. So why? Like, that's my question. Like, why are women not mad about this?
Because they're scared to speak out.
Because what do you say, D?
because they support it.
Because they support it. You know what? If you support getting your ass kicked in sports, go right ahead. Because men, that would never fucking happen. Let's keep it 1,000, right?
Ay, ay, ay. It's
Well, I mean, like,
ridiculous.
Hey, go ahead, man. At the
I mean,
end
like,
of
if
the
a girl transitioned to a guy sport, they wouldn't even make it.
no,
No.
It's not
no,
happening.
they wouldn't even make the G League.
It's not, bro. It's not happening.
No.
Like that's like the one thing like I've actually noticed like in the past couple of days is like it's literally only men transitioning to females
That are in that sport.
that
Yeah.
are doing that and then participating in sports in women's sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's never a woman transitioning to a man and playing well men sports but
Football.
male sports
Well, yeah. Well,
male sports
we'll just say playing with men.
playing with men.
That's male sports essentially.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, so I noticed that and I was just like, damn, that's ridiculous. But then they still have shit to talking about. Oh, women can do that too, bro. Okay, like yeah, I'm not saying you can't do it. You're not gonna do it as good as us.
It's okay. Like I said, you guys can do shit as well. Like y'all are fantastic, right? At what's best for you. Can you do it?
Exactly.
Sure, you can do it. But like you said, are you gonna do it better in some areas? Of course not, and that's okay. You have your strengths. You have your natural strengths. Simple as that.
Exactly.
Another thing I want to get back on is the attack on masculinity, right? Because I feel like we didn't get into it enough. Noe, do you see any, with your young perspective, do you see any attack on masculinity? Is there anything in particular that you notice that you're like, that's not good if you're trying to develop a society where masculinity is going to be prioritized? Because at the end of the day, masculinity is part of the backbone of society, right? If we go to war, men are the backbone of society, right?
Yeah.
So do you see anything through your perspective that is going to be hindering that in any way or not contributing in a positive way to that?
I feel like people who act like that at school, like kind of like more like
Success.
yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
No, not that. Like kind of act more like I want to say like manly, kind of are looked down upon.
What do you mean exactly? What do you mean? What do you mean? Like, okay, like the best athletes that go to your school that are the most manly, right?
Yeah.
They compete. Are they really looked down upon, or are they the top of the hierarchy?
They could be looked down upon on something else. They could just be like, because they're fucking assholes.
Okay, fair, fair.
When you say
fair.
that, do you mean like they're like obnoxious?
Yeah.
Okay, see, like that, and like that's one of the biggest factors as far as being masculine is like you're gonna be obnoxious sometimes. Like that's just a part of I feel like just being a guy.
Yeah.
You know.
And they're
Well, yeah, not everybody's gonna agree with you, and that's okay. Like,
Yeah,
men
everyone-
men are just more nonchalant with how they express opinions.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Noe.
I forgot what she said.
All right, give me a second, B-Dog. All right, another thing we want to get into is,
Bro, it's hot in your room.
well, what am I gonna do about it? All
Make
right,
it colder.
all right, cool. Next thing we're gonna talk about is matching energy, right? So, have you guys ever talked to somebody, right, and they just were not matching your energy?
Oh yeah, for sure.
What do you usually do with people like that?
We're talking about like
talking to 'em.
conversing with somebody or like talking to a female.
We're just somebody,
Oh, some.
anybody,
not-
realistically,
Oh, they're
right?
not matching my energy. And so, what was the question again?
What do you do with people like that?
Subtract them.
Subtract
Yeah,
them.
I don't.
Exactly. Go ahead, Noe.
I don't talk to them.
You don't
It's,
talk.
like, it's never. It's not gonna work out.
It's not. The energy is not matched. It's not meant. It's not meant to be. That person's not there.
Exactly.
You gotta
But
subtract.
if you are matching, bro, keep them there.
Keep them there. Exactly. But if they ain't, like D says, go ahead and subtract them now.
That's what I'm saying.
But yeah, I want to get into that because there's still people that are trying to actively pursue an interaction with somebody, whether like I said, it's a female interaction or whether it's a male interaction, friend interaction, or relationship interaction or whatever. There's people that are pursuing that, but they're still their energy's not getting matched, and they're still doing it. Why do you think that?
Because
What do you think?
they want to be like something that's not.
Okay, they want to be something that it's not. Okay, they have like unrealistic expectations. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so like for example, let's just use the example of like young men pursuing women, right?
Mm-hmm.
That and most men that are young are not as desirable to women, right? For the
Mm.
most part.
Mm.
So what exactly would be your advice to a, let's just say, a person like Noe who's pursuing women that, not saying he's doing this, but pursuing women that not matching his energy. What would you say to that, D?
For somebody like Noe.
Yeah, somebody young like Noe.
Okay. Okay. So wait, what am I speaking on exactly? I heard the question, but
The advice if he was trying to pursue a woman
mm-hmm.
and they were not matching energy, what would be your advice to that individual?
At that point, I mean, like, you can still pursue women and stuff like that, but I mean, like, just don't, bro. I mean, I would say for somebody like young, like Noe, bro, like, you just focus on yourself, bro.
Easier said than done. You know that.
It's way easier said than done, but if you can manage, definitely, like, because at the end of the day, like, once you turn to like like the age where like, okay, like pursuing women and them actually gravitating towards you is a lot easier.
For sure.
Once you hit that age, you would be like way further ahead in your goals for sure, 100%. So that's just me, like, if you want to go ahead and pursue women, talk to them and whatever, like, okay, go for it. But I mean, that's like, you have a lot more free time. What do you like? You're 16, right?
Yeah.
16. At 16 years old, you have a lot of free time, bro. You have a lot of free time. And even at somebody like, like Champ's age or like my age, like at 20 years old, like, we still have a pretty good amount of free time. So with that being said, you have way more free time than us, and you could literally go out and pick up a couple different skill sets, do whatever you want to do. And then once you hit our age, like, boom, like, you can literally, like, you can pull the trigger on, pursuing women, and they'll gravitate like towards you like a lot more, just because of you have a lot more under your belt than a lot of kids your age, you know?
Yeah,
That's
for
really
sure.
what it is.
My advice within that, within, like I said, just that interaction in general is, how are you spending your energy, right? Everybody has, like you said, that 8 hours a day, roughly, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to be very, at a young age, this is something I wish I was more conscious of. What exactly are you spending most of your energy on? Are you spending it on yourself, or are you spending it in something, in areas that um, are not exactly reaping the benefit that you're putting the energy towards, right? So if that makes any sense, like, are you putting too much energy towards something that's not exactly gravitating towards you the way it needs to be? And if women is one of those things, then like I said, you need to start putting energy into things that are going to give that are going to show you the results for the amount of effort that you're putting them in, right? So like I said, whether, like you had mentioned, whether this is picking up a skill, if you spend a good amount of time on it, you're going to see the results. But you can spend plenty of time thinking about women and wasting your energy in that way and not get anything in return, right? You can spend half the time working on a skill and get double the reward than you would if you were just pursuing women, right? So I would say at a young age, I would recommend paying attention to about three to five things that you're really spending most of your energy on, and evaluating to see if that's exactly what you're trying to fully pursue. Because like you're going to have more free time in the future, and there's going to be a place and time to pursue women. But like I said, if you're not in the position to pursue women realistically, you got work to do, big fella.
Exactly.
What do you think about that, Noe?
What do you mean by that last part?
Go ahead and work on yourself.
No.
What?
Um. You said something about women, like
Go ahead. Okay.
like,
What, I said something about women.
yeah.
Well,
Like
if it's not your time to pursue women, then it's not your time to pursue women. If they're not attracted to you, then they're just not. If they're not gravitating towards you, right? At the level that you're spending your energy on, right?
what they are.
What they are.
Yeah.
What if they are?
Yeah.
Then I would say be very clear with what you want and don't settle. That's what I will say. Be very clear with what you want. And like I said, for example, right? Let's just say you pursue a woman and you're not exactly 1,000% attracted to her completely. She's not a 10 in your opinion, right? There's still work there, right?
Mhm.
And I'm not to say that, high school relationships and things like that and early relationships don't matter or don't last. Of course, there's going to be exceptions to the rule, right? But if you're going to speak, if you're going to be honest, right? I know maybe a handful of relationships that have actually lasted throughout high school, right? So, like I said, if it's exactly the person that you want, then yes, I would say it's worth spending some energy on. But if it's not, you eventually need to get to a point where you're clearly focusing on just yourself. That's what I would say. That'd be my advice. And like I said, that hard advice to take as a young kid? Did I take that advice as a young kid? No, I did not. It's hard to take. It's hard to take. But if you manage, like
Nah,
you
it
said,
is. It is.
if you manage
It
to
is
do
for
it,
real.
if you manage to do it, you're fucking gonna be in a way better spot, and you're going to be able to pursue women at a earlier age, because women are actually gonna want you. Here's the thing: when it comes to men and women, right? Women are desirable from a young age. Men are not desirable until they get older. Like truly, truly desirable, truly attracted to by majority of the gender, or the opposite gender, I guess, right? So, for example, like if you're a beautiful woman, for the most part, guys are really gonna pay attention to beauty, right? That's all you would need to do is look good. As a man,
All it is.
the only way well, like I said, if you're a woman who looks like an 8 or a 9, right, at a young age, you're going to get the attention, obviously, right? You're going to get the attention, but if you're a man that's that same age or relatively close to that same age, you haven't built anything for yourself, so you're not going to be attracted to you're not going to be attracted by most of the you're not going to attract most of the women like you would if you were 8 or 9 as a woman.
Exactly.
That she's dying in there, blowing up,
I know, right?
instantly blowing up. Shout out to Bashy. Shout out to Bashy.
That's
Come
what
on
I'm
now.
saying.
Man had
But
Chipotle. Man had Chipotle.
Man, had you pull. Oh no.
That's what I'm saying, bro. So it's crazy out here, man. Like I don't know, like, but that's for sure like my advice, because I feel like at 16, like you have all the time in the world to literally find what you really want to do, for sure, for sure, for sure. But you definitely have like the time to figure out what you want to do, like, and like it's the time where you can try something for a decent amount of time, and it's enough time to like realize like, okay, maybe like I don't want to do this, maybe I want to do this. For example, like, no, you want to play
I
football,
still got
right?
2 more.
No.
I quit.
You quit?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you want to do now?
I'm shopping my options right now.
Okay, like, see, and this is the time for that.
For sure.
You're literally where you need to be. You
Yeah.
know, that's what this age is like all about.
Like,
You know,
I still got like 2 more years to think about it. Like
Exactly.
really think about it.
2 years is a lot of time, bro. 2 years is a lot.
But it's also
of time.
not.
It's not, but if you let it slip by, then like that's on you.
Yeah.
But
This is 1/8 of your lifetime right now. 2 years, right?
literally,
This would be 1/10 of our lifetime.
exactly.
Obviously, we're older than you, but like, so
Yeah.
you gotta look at it like that, because that's really what it is, right?
Yeah. So that's all it is. But just looking around, seeing what you want to do. Like this is the time for that, bro.
And here's the thing: it's not even just looking around, man. You gotta ask yourself the right questions.
Exactly.
Like that's why I made my other YouTube channel. And that's why I have this podcast, is because a lot of people are not asking themselves the right questions, especially at a younger age. You ask yourself the right questions, you get so much further along than everybody else. The more questions you ask about yourself and answer, the farther you will be than any person in your age.
And this is
The
fact.
smartest people ask the best questions. They get the biggest result. That's what
Exactly.
it comes down to,
Exactly.
right?
No.
D, you also had some other things you would like to mention as well on the podcast, so go ahead and let us know.
Let me see. All right. So real quick, I'm just gonna scan my notes real quick. All right. So let me see. Ooh, finding balance or subtracting people from your life for the greater good. Ooh, let's see. I could talk about either one. All right, let me see. All right, let's see. Let's talk about finding balance, yeah?
Finding balance. Okay.
All
What do
right.
you mean by that?
finding balance. All right, so finding
Go ahead. Yeah,
balance.
he'll explain. Go ahead. You gotta be,
So,
dog.
check this out.
Check me out. Check me out.
Check me out. Check me out.
Yeah.
So
Go
look,
ahead.
so check me out. So look. So finding balance, okay. This can mean a different thing for everybody, but for me, in my personal experience, right? it's been, being able to find the time for, fitness, you know, getting my, my hours in as far as like the gym, working out, whatever, working on my, like my new motorcycle, making sure like I'm up to date with it, making sure that everything's running smoothly and everything, working on everything, all that. And then, picking up producing, that's a whole other skill set that I need to make time for. And then, we have work, and then on top of that, like there's my me time, but my me time really consists of still learning how to produce like that. Like there's not really a time where I really just relax. Like it's hard for me to relax. It's really hard for me to relax. So, just being able to find that balance it's hard for some people, and I feel like it took me maybe like a month, maybe two, like out of this year to really find the balance, because throughout this year since the beginning, I would say like I was spending a lot of time in just one, and I wasn't able to find enough. Actually, no, I'm not gonna say I wasn't able to, but I wasn't making the time for these other things. But within the past month or so, I've found this balance, and honestly, it's been working really great for me. And so, you know, being able to put in like that focus to find this balance and making it a priority, that's another thing, because I would say prioritizing just one thing. I mean, like, yeah, you can get a lot further along in it if you put a lot more focus into it. But if there's multiple things that you want to do, it's like it's key. It's
Well,
key.
ideally, if you're trying to live a sufficient life, you should be focused on more than just one thing.
Exactly.
Keep it 1,000. All
Exactly.
right. So, no, what do you take away from that, as well as finding balance? Because you're at a point in your life where you're, like I said, you're trying to find balance within your life. How do you think that could really apply to you?
Well, I got a car recently, right? Or am I able to drive now?
Okay.
Right.
Shout out to noise. Shout out to noise.
Haha, I'm just that guy. Nah, I'm playing. But
Okay.
but I feel like my days are more productive now that I'm able to like drive around and actually do things I need to do and want to do.
Okay, for sure.
Like it's not just like go home, eat, and then just do whatever after. Like I actually like I'm able to go out and do whatever that I need to do. Whether that be go to the gym, go get like my food for the week, for my diet and shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just overall more productive, which is good. Like I said, if you had planned it out, yeah, you definitely can get a lot further with just finding that balance. And like I said, that is something that you are just getting adjusted to as well. Like
Yeah.
like they had mentioned, it's going to be like maybe you've done it for a month or about a month and a half or 2 months roughly, right? But it's this is something you're trying to find, and yeah, I would say, do you think you're finding success within that? Are you finding more balance than you did at one point?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, that's good. Sure,
That's
sure.
what's up. That's what's up. I'm glad to hear. I'm glad to hear. What about you, champ?
What about me?
What does your balance consist of?
What does my balance consist of?
And how long did it find you to, or how long did it find you? How long did it take you to find this balance?
Okay, so my balance consists of balancing the podcast um and the YouTube channel. So I would say I'm still trying to find the sufficient amount of balance, and also I'm going to add going into the gym very soon because I won't be banned. Revenge tour in
Hey,
12
we gonna
days.
get it.
fellas.
We gonna get it. We
Revenge
gonna
tour.
get it, boy.
Let's go.
Revenge tour 12 days, fellas. So with that being said,
You looking kind of small.
it's okay. It's okay because I'm about to get it, and then it's about to be over.
Glass
It's okay. It's okay. No, because it's all good because it won't last long, big fella. It won't last long now. But with that being said,
Worker partner right here.
right? That's another thing I'm gonna find balance in because I have a lot more time on my hands, so I'm going to be able to prioritize that balance in a way that's going to be sufficient to make the most progress. So, it's just basically prioritizing what you need to prioritize and getting it done.
Yeah.
And another thing that I recently learned about in my one of my books called Mind Management, not Time Management, is the concept of
Agree.
putting yourself in the right mood to get something done. Because at the end of the day, you can plan things out, right? But if you're not in the mood to get something done, you're not going to be as efficient as you possibly can be, right? And one of the concepts in this book is he says, um, there's every hour is not made equally, right? You're not gonna be There's gonna be hours in the day. Let's just say at 3 o'clock, right? 3 o'clock rolls around, you're going to be the most productive thing or the most productive time to do work, for whatever reason. Like I said, everybody's different in that regard, right? But let's just say you've been working for the last 3 hours, right? Before that, and you've got less work done in that 3 hours than you did in that just 1 hour, just because you were locked in, right?
Mm.
So there's just things like that you also need to take into account. So I'm just trying to find balance within that as well because you know there's going to be moods that fluctuate. I'm going to be more in the mood to do one thing, and I feel like also just going based off of my intuition on what feels right to be done in that moment is also something I'm trying to prioritize as well.
Oh yeah. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it.
Appreciate it, my dog. Appreciate it.
Of course, it's all about progress, consistency, and focus.
Self discipline, yes sir.
Exactly.
That's the key right there. That's the key right there, fellas. Come on now.
That's all it is. That's all it is. Perseverance. You know.
Perseverance. Facts.
Man, sound like Mr. Miyagi.
What? Hey, sure. Hey,
I
you
just
spitting
might be.
facts then?
I just might be. Let me see. And then,
He said, I just might be.
hey, bro, past life. You know. Let me see. Did you want to move on to the next topic?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear what you got.
All right. So subtracting people from your life for the greater good.
So that kind of goes back to the imagine energy type shit.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It goes hand in hand with that for sure. You know. So I feel like a lot of people, maybe like our age or like your age, maybe we have these friends, and at first, like, we might think that these people are really cool. And don't get me wrong, there are a lot of really cool people out there, but in order to remain focused and to really get the results you want, you may have to really subtract these people from your life, you know. And I feel like for a lot of people, it could be friends maybe that they've had for years, and you still got to do it because I've had this conversation with a couple people recently, like, what was it, that you are like the average of the five people that you hang around with the most. And here's the thing, that's if you really allow yourself to. But if you're not focused, you're gonna become the average of those five people. Now, I know for damn sure that I'm not the average because, I mean, well, to begin with, I really don't even like hang around people like too often. I go to work, I go to the gym, back home, produce, and that's really about it,
And podcast occasionally.
Exactly. And
We here.
this is like the second one, since like December?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you see what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, it's really mainly just me. It's mainly me for the most part. I might have my coworkers or whatever, but that's work, you know. And it's crazy because I feel like at work, like, I'm cool with these people and all. It's just like I can see that they're not on my level. They're not vibrating at the same frequency,
Talk your shit then, D. Talk your shit then, boy.
Exactly. And like, I mean, I drop one name, I'm not gonna drop the other one.
Oh, he okay. Okay. At least he has
Name
some
dropping.
dropping. Hey, you should be thankful he's not dropping names out here.
That's what I'm saying.
The real one's gonna stick with you. That's a motherfucking fact right there.
Exactly.
Spitting facts.
Exactly. They're gonna stick with you, but not only that, they're gonna keep your head in the game.
Exactly.
They're gonna help you keep your head in the game.
They gonna keep you tapped in.
Exactly.
And when you fall off, they gonna keep you tapped in. Keep it
Exactly.
1,000. And one thing I wanted to interject as well, D, is I heard this concept as well. That same concept that you had mentioned is you're the sum of what 5 people that you hang around with most.
Yeah.
I feel like that's slowly changing in society, and I feel like maybe you could agree more with this perspective. I would say it's more closer to you are the sum of 5 people whose content you consume the most of.
I like that one.
And I feel like maybe consuming somebody's content would be hanging out with them.
Yeah.
That could also be that, or just whose time you spent, who's consuming your time essentially, right?
Exactly.
Now, whether that's hanging out with them or whether that's, like I said, maybe watching somebody on YouTube or paying attention to somebody's Instagram or paying attention to somebody's lifestyle.
Exactly.
Who inspires you? Like that right there is, I feel like, a lot more accurate representation of today's society,
For
of course,
sure.
along with people as well.
For
Noe,
sure.
Noe, what do you think about that, man?
Well, recently, like, I feel like I've cut out a lot of people, stopped talking to a lot of people who just like were kind of having like negative effect on my life, like kind of just like down, like kind of like putting down what I was doing, kind of like just being like, oh, you're a fucking loser for that, like.
Nah, I'm
Like-
up now.
Bitch.
Like, I don't want
now,
Oh.
fellas.
I don't want anything to do with those people, and like
Yeah, for
also like
Nah, I'm up now.
fuck.
Go ahead, Noe. We up now. Come on now.
I feel like also like just the kind of lifestyle you live definitely switches your group of friends.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Because like I said, if you guys don't have the same interests, right, it's gonna be hard to connect on that level.
Like matching energy.
Exactly, matching energy is gonna be if it's forced, right, it's not going to be sufficient to keep around realistically, right?
Exactly.
For sure.
And I feel like I've done this too. Like I've held on to friendships because like we just been friends for so long, but like we just don't work anymore, you know?
And
Yeah,
that's just life, bro.
Yeah,
That's just evolving. That's part of the evolution, my
yeah,
boy.
bro.
Exactly.
And here's the thing: the road, to success, it might just become lonely, bro. You might like let's just say, by the time you turn like 25, 30,
Mm-hmm.
and you manage to remain focused and everything, you're gonna probably have like you're more than likely gonna have like a small circle of friends, which that's the way it should be. That's really the way it should be. Truth be told,
That's what happened. Like that's what happened from like my freshman year to like sophomore year.
Yeah, bro.
Like I like freshman year, I felt like my circle was like, oh my god, bro, I'm friends with all these people, and now this year I'm like, I don't want anything to do with all
You
these
see the
motherfuckers,
snakes,
bro.
boy.
I don't want
Bro,
anything to
you
do with any
shouldn't.
of them, bro.
You see the snakes? Hey, the snakes
Nah,
nice
for
more in the
real.
grass, my boy. Come on
That's
now.
what I'm saying. You gotta
Only matter
find
of
the
time.
snakes in the grass, bro.
Like I literally
Simple.
like have like a handful of friends now, to be honest. Like
That's all you need.
like actual friends.
That's all you motherfucking need. Keep it 1,000, right?
That's all. That's
Exactly.
all it is, bro.
Exactly.
That's all. It
Hey,
is.
you already know who you are. Come on now.
If you watching this, hey, you already knew. Hey, make sure you keep it 1,000. Stay solid. Come on now.
That's what I'm saying. And like, I think I told you about this the other day. Like, one of the reasons that I'm trying to move from Sunglass Hut to GNC is like I'm not growing at Sunglass Hut. Let's just be real. Okay. I'm not growing. Second, I'm not helping people. Okay. Like, yeah, like I'm helping people look cool and shit. Like that was probably like the goal last year, and I achieved that goal. I've helped a lot of people look
Good
really
shit.
cool.
Talk your shit then, boy.
That was it.
Talk your
But
shit then, boy.
here's the thing, and like going back to like the whole coworkers, like I'm cool with them and all. They're cool people. It's just they don't have the same goals as me, bro.
Hey, if we're talking about helping people, I'm helping people get fucking fat.
Fucking Noe.
God damn.
Ah,
God
Stop it up for Noe, fellas. Stop it up for Noe. What a fucking big G for that. My God.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. You never know, though. Once they do get fat and they're like, "Damn, I'm fat," they'll flip their lives around, bro.
Hey.
Some people I see coming through to McDonald's like every day, bro.
Okay,
I'm like,
yeah.
what are you doing?
I'd be like, "Hey, bro, this is like your fourth
like,
time
bro,
this week,
bro.
bro. You got to get
Nah,
out of
sometimes
here."
I see people, sometimes
Yeah,
I people
you gotta take
I
y'all
see
to
people like
GNC.
3 times a day. I'm like, bro, do you not eat anything else, bro? Like,
Like, straight up, bro. Straight up.
like our food's gross too, bro. That's the thing.
Dude.
Yeah, like I said, hey, come on now.
And I'm sure
There's
you see, like,
better
the
things you can
behind the
fill your
scenes
body
stuff,
with.
too.
Yeah. Like after I'm done working, I'm never eating at McDonald's again.
Oh yeah, no, definitely don't. Definitely don't. Stop right now. Like, oh my
Yeah.
goodness. But yeah, but like just I feel like the coworkers I would have at GNC, they would help me out a lot more. Because I'm learning a lot more about products that would help me, and so being able to help myself and then being able to help other people, you can't beat that.
Yeah, that's kind of my experience I had in the gym, right? So I was around a bunch of personal trainers all the time, so
Yeah,
I was able to get a lot of knowledge in a short amount of time,
exactly.
which is so key, especially with a vital thing like that, like you said, with supplements and stuff like that. But like for me, it was with working out as one of the key pillars of life.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Same, bro.
So like I've been like thinking about, or I'm probably gonna quit, right?
okay, maybe.
And
Damn.
a place,
Hopefully.
yeah,
Nice
like,
job.
hopefully, bro. I need to get out of here. But I want to go to Foot Locker because like I feel
can
like
see you at Foot Locker.
yeah,
I can see.
like it just goes with me. Like I love sneakers. I work at a sneaker store.
See you, bro.
Boom. Exactly.
I see you, Bree.
Yeah, Bree said she's proud of the people that go through that line because she actually works us out and go.
Yeah.
But yeah, but going back to you saying you want to
Shout out
work at a
those
Foot
people.
Locker.
Shout out to those people.
Like I feel like also
Yes, sir.
like on release days, I feel like I'll be around a lot of people that I know or like I could relate to, you know,
Yeah, for sure.
because we share the same interests.
Yeah, for sure. Which is definitely key, and it makes work a lot more enjoyable, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
I'm not just dealing with Karens all day
Yeah.
yelling at me because they miss a chicken nugget.
Damn, that's fucked.
Yeah.
I'm like,
You only put 7 in here. There's supposed to be 8. No, I ain't trying to hear you.
Be like, yeah, I ate it. So what?
Hey, I'm doing you a favor, big fella. Like, look how big you are already now.
Literally, like
You
400
don't need that
pounds.
nugget.
Imagine. Like straight up. Honestly, I'd probably be so bad at McDonald's, dude. I'd be eating people's fries all the time.
Ain't no fucking way.
Fucking way, you eating motherfuckers fries like that?
Yeah, I'm dipping them in the McFlurries, bro.
You fucking man.
Mm.
Hey, I gotta tell you guys a funny story.
All right, let's hear it.
One time, so I was,
Fired.
I was, so one time I was doing fries, right?
Yeah.
And I went to go like stock something really quick, and I told my homie Noel to come cover me for a little bit.
Okay.
So I come back.
Wait, does he know this story? Does he know how the story ends?
Who?
Your friend. Does he know how?
Yeah, 'cause he's the one who did it. So I come back, right, and he goes, bro, I gotta tell you something. I was like, what happened? He's like, bro, I spilled all the salt in the fries. And keep in mind, this thing is like, like,
Oh,
it's like,
no wonder my fucking
hey,
fries
give me
be
that
salty from
pill.
there.
Give me that pill bottle. Hey, it's about like the salt shaker is about this big, and he spilled all of it into the fries.
You gotta throw that shit
And then,
out, right?
and no, I served it
Oh
to
my
people,
Those are
God,
some salty ass fries, man.
you're the reason for the heart attack.
bro.
Literally, they're gonna have some blood pressure problems after these fries, bro. Like fuck.
Bro, I
Dropping gems
literally
tonight.
served him off, bro.
Hey,
Bree dropping gems. She always dropping gems.
literally,
When she comment, yeah.
literally. Dude, that shit is crazy. Nah,
Bro,
that
spilled
tells you-
all the salt in the fries, bro. It looked like a whole like mount, like literally looked like Mount Everest, bro.
You know what he said? Let's go ahead and get these fries out. Come on now. The people need them.
Literally.
Fucking killing these people out here,
Literally.
Noy.
Bro,
Literally.
I just like shaked it out, like
He said,
let
They
it boil
probably-
in.
Dude, they probably bit into a fry, not even like looking at it or anything like that, and they probably made the worst face ever.
boy bit into a salt.
Literally.
the fry on it. That's crazy.
Like
I bet
that
she made, like,
crunch
I bet
was
you-
from the.
I bet you it's like
Salt,
if like
bro,
you
not
bit
even
onto
the
into
fry.
like sand.
Oh my goodness, dude.
Oh my
Literally.
god.
Not
Literally.
not teaching them lessons.
Fucking blood pressure problems.
No,
High
we teaching
cholesterol.
lessons. Damn. he, he's teaching. It's the hard way. He's teaching the hard
Literally.
way. Come on now.
Literally, dude. Oh, okay. You want to still eat here? All right, bet.
Oh, that's
Fucking
funny, bro.
Dump the whole thing.
This is what you get, fellas.
Literally.
You get what you pay for,
Aye,
fellas.
aye, bro.
You shit.
Aye, aye, aye.
Nah, for
Let's
real.
see. All right, next topic.
Yes, sir. Let's see what you got.
All right, let me see. So,
Still one of my favorite
all
stories.
right. See, being focused and conserving your energy. All right, cool. Let me see. So, being focused and conserving your energy. So, now this is something that I've been into since I believe my last time on the podcast.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so,
Good shit.
it's been I appreciate that, bro. It's been quite the journey, and honestly, like, this year has passed by so fast, and I think it's literally just because of the fact that being able to conserve my energy, like, and just remain focused and just keep that tunnel vision. It's like you kind of just lose track of time, and honestly, like, I feel like that's the way it should be, like, 'cause like if I'm losing track of time that fast, like, we're already halfway through the year. Like, it feels like like December, January, like that was just yesterday. Like, that's how it feels. And I feel like there's that, and not only that, as you guys might know, I'm into like the spiritual stuff, spiritual warrior in the building,
Get in the building. Come on now.
so a part of what my spiritual work consists of is being able to quiet my mind and really not necessarily lose track of time, but more like don't like I can't really like how do I say this, because it's hard, being able to put my mind rather in eternity than break it down into increments as far as time. And I had this conversation with Champ the other day, like, because that's really all it is. Because
Tapped in.
me, exactly.
Tap
tapped
the
in.
fuck in, fellas.
Tapped in.
Tap the fuck in.
Exactly. So, like, being able to do that, it's major, because I mean we're just here, like, we just exist in this point in time, not even in time, but in eternity, and so, anyways, being aware of that, I'm just like, okay, well, let me really focus and buckle down on what I really need to do, and see what happens, because I'm only here for so long. We're all only here for so long, so I'm gonna make the most of it, try to learn as much as possible. And so, just keeping that tunnel vision, really buckling down on everything, tripling down on everything.
Quadrupling down everything.
Exactly. Just multiplying everything in general. Just it helps a lot, you know. And so I think being able to preach that message and practice what I preach, because that's another big thing. You know, I don't wanna be preaching a message that I'm not practicing, because it's not like, cause like I'm only putting in half the work at that point. I could be helping people by what I'm saying, yeah, but I'm not really necessarily helping myself. And with that being said, it's almost like what I'm saying loses meaning if I don't practice what I preach. You
Facts.
know,
You're not a man of your word. Come on now.
Exactly.
Man of your word is being. That's another thing within society. You see men that are not
exactly,
men of their word. But yeah, go ahead.
exactly. And here's the thing: like, I feel like there's a lot of people out there that probably would fall off. You know, they say like, oh, like, you know, I was hitting the gym every day, yada yada yada, and then I don't know, one day I just stopped going and I don't go anymore, and like, okay, but like, you still have the opportunity to go back, bro. You know, so
Yeah,
you know,
just like-
being able to pick yourself back up when you fall off, that's another thing. You know, being able to take 2 steps back to take a couple more forward, that's another big thing. You know, and I think I had this conversation with you not so long ago as well. Um, but that's really what it's about, you know. So just the whole journey, as far as, you know, being able to buckle down, stay focused, keep that tunnel vision. It's
Tap
important.
the fuck in.
You gotta stay tapped in.
Stay
know.
tapped in.
Like, become tapped in, and don't even like you don't even have to realize that you're tapped in. Like, that's how tapped in you gotta become. Is you're like, you're not even aware of the fact that you're tapped in.
Automaticity, fellas. Automaticity is already locked in. It's automatic.
Exactly.
Built-in ambition.
Exactly.
You can't even tell. You can't even tell. It's already a habit like that.
Exactly.
Tap the fuck in.
You gotta learn your mind the way your mind has learned you.
Damn. Spitting the motherfucking facts, my boy. Come on now.
That's really what it is, bro.
Come on, good
Ah.
vibes. Come on now, fellas. Tap the fuck in, fellas.
Yeah, dude. So that's really what it's about, bro. You know, so it's crazy being back on. You know, giving everybody an update, and I hope that, you know, what I say, you know, has definitely helped, you know, your audience and stuff like that. You know,
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate the
attract
wise
some more
words.
of the people that you wanna attract. You know,
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
so that's really what it is. You know, so yeah. And let's see. Did you have anything else that you wanted to talk about?
Let me go ahead and look. Anyway, is there anything that you want to tell the people before we end it off?
Nah.
Nah. Okay. All right. So yeah, we'll go ahead and leave it off from right there. We just want to just give more one piece of advice for the people that to finish out their week. What is one thing that you want them to be mindful of? D. Go ahead and go first. What is one thing specifically you want them to key in on? If they could take anything from this podcast, just go ahead and give them another go ahead and give them another gem, man.
If there's one thing that I want people to take from this
Tap in,
episode,
boys.
just not even just this episode, but from this podcast, like, bro, like, effort, you know, time, no, not even time, eternity, time, no, I'm sorry, effort, eternity, being able to just really remain, like, just focused, and just lock yourself in.
Tap the fuck in.
You have to put here's the
Telling
thing,
you.
with your journey, whatever your journey is, there's gonna be times where you have to put yourself in a certain space, in a certain mental space, where it might not be that comfortable, but at the end of the day, like, that's what's required for your journey and for success at the end of the day. So just keep that in mind, and when these moments hit, you're gonna know. And I hope that, you know, me saying this, I hope that you remember this, and I hope that you keep going. That's it.
Spin that facts.
The
No,
wall is the journey. The wall is a part of the journey. That's it.
facts. No, is there anything you wanna give the people?
Just keep doing what you love.
Keep doing what you love. I like that. I like that. It's something simple, but like you said, it's something that people get attached from. But yeah, I agree with that. Be true. Be you.
100%.
Bree spitting them
Oh,
fucking
God.
facts.
100%.
Dropping gems today, Bree. Okay. And there's one thing I will leave you guys off on is this, which kind of goes hand in hand with what he was talking about, the persistence, right? He said a wall is a part of the journey, right? There's going to be moments of resistance, but it's not having your focus on the resistance. It's focusing your energy on how to get past the resistance, because there's going to be those uncomfortable moments. There's going to be those less than ideal situations, but it's not about getting to those situations. It's about getting out of those situations. Like I said, staying persistent and keeping on the grind. That's that is the main. That's one of the main things within the journey. Is, like I said, just staying persistent. You fall off the horse, get your ass back on, because that's what's needed.
Exactly.
But other than that, fellas, I'm about to go ahead and end it off. I appreciate all you guys for stopping by. Like I said, this was episode number 30 of the Life of a Champ podcast with D and Noe. Like I said, make
Now
sure
we the goat.
all right, make sure you go ahead and tap in the next podcast. We're going to be doing it Friday, so stay tuned to that. Like I said, also follow me on TikTok, just at Life of a Champ podcast. Uploading TikToks every single day. So other than that, I appreciate you guys for stopping by, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your night.
Tap in.
Yes, sir.
Hey, tap the fuck in, fellas. Tap the fuck
Tap
in.
in. Tap
I see
in.
y'all.